Mindset Shaping Your Future, leadership and life coach, and also a motivational speaker. My goal as a speaker is to help people on how they can move from where they are to wherever they want to be with clarity, whatever that point may be. And today I will be speaking to us on a topic which I have captioned Keys to Shaping Your Future. And it's important to understand that just like you need keys to enter your house, and not just any keys, just like you need the right keys to enter your house, so it is with shaping your future. You need the right keys to begin shaping your future. And I want to begin by saying this. The future is always an unknown in many people's minds. And yet, you and I have more influence over the future than we think we have. The greatest challenge that most people face on the path of where they are and to begin shaping the future they have envisioned is that they easily panic. And the word panic is a very interesting word. It is originally taken from a Greek word which means to cut off, to disengage, or to disconnect. And that's exactly what happens every time you panic. When you panic, you cut off the air that goes to your brain. And when you cut off the air that goes to your brain, your mind cannot think clearly. And when your mind cannot think clearly, your mind cannot find options that exist for you in your environment. And when your mind cannot environment, you disempower yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, the true strength that resides in every human being is his or her ability to find options. In 1929, 29th October 1929, after the stock market crash, it is recorded that thousands and thousands of people panicked. And because they panicked, they committed suicide. But for those who understood that life must go on, they had a different story to tell. So every time you lack the ability to find options, you eliminate yourself. Every time you lack the ability to find options, you disempower your own self. As a matter of fact, you relocate yourself to the jungle. Because it is said that in the old Stone Age, humans and animals coexisted in the jungle. But look at us now. We have transformed. We have made clothes for ourselves. We have made cars. We have developed languages. That's our strength, to continuously find options no matter where we find ourselves. And so in this video, I'm going to be sharing with us keys to shaping your future. And before I dive into today's message and share with you the keys to shaping your future, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also share this message with your friends. And if there's something that resonates with you in this message, please drop a comment in the comment section. So the first key to shaping your future is vision. What is vision? Vision is the ability to see the impossible in order to make it possible. Vision is the ability to see the impossible, to see the invisible, to make it possible. You have to see the invisible in your mind so you can make it possible. That's the first key to shaping your future. That's the starting point to shaping your future. As a matter of fact, vision is a critical hope factor. Vision is the key to the future. Vision is the key to the future. Vision is a critical hope factor. Any hope for the future must start with a vision. Vision is a critical motivation factor. It is almost impossible to find the motivation to act if you do not have vision. Vision is the critical greatness factor. There is a sense in which you can be present and there is a sense in which you can be around and not present. If the people who are the custodian of your environment cannot attest to the credibility of your relevance, that means you are around and you are not present. Vision should be the key to your activity. Everything that you do in your life should be guided by your vision. As a matter of fact, everything I do, I keep checking it to make sure that it is helping me on how I can help people to move from where they are to wherever they want to be with clarity. Everything I do, I keep checking it to make sure that it is helping me, that it is guiding me on how I can help people to deal with their setbacks, hardships, and challenges, and begin shaping the future that they have envisioned. It was Helen Keller who once said, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. Man, that's a very powerful statement. For someone who was born blind like Helen Keller, and yet she understood that the only thing that is worse than being blind is having sight, having the ability to see, but with no vision. So understand that your vision is not ahead of you. Your vision is within you. Look at a man like Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder never wondered all his life because he understood that his vision was not ahead of him, it was inside of him. So the starting point to shaping your future, the starting point to become the person you have envisioned to be is to have a clear vision of who you want to be. I've often said that maybe what we call disability is another unpopular type of ability, because if Stevie Wonder and Helen Keller were really disabled, they couldn't achieve what they achieved. So the first point, the starting point to shaping the future is having a clear vision of who you want to be. I remember when I first got in Cape Town from Malawi, I was going to meet a friend of mine in Wynberg. And for those who are familiar with Wynberg, they know it's a distance from the CBD to Wynberg town. So I took a golden arrow bus from Cape Town to Wynberg. And when I first got in Claremont, on my way to Wynberg, I almost got off the bus in Claremont because Claremont for me just looked like Wynberg. I didn't see the invisible in my mind. I didn't have a picture of what Wynberg looked like. So I almost got off the bus in Claremont because Claremont for me just looked like Wynberg. And I want to communicate this to you. Sadly, this is how many people's lives are. They are stuck in places where they are not supposed to be simply because they lack vision. Most people are stuck in environments, in workplaces, in relationships where they are not supposed to be simply because they lack the mental sight. Simply because they can't see the invisible so they can make it possible. Simply because they can't photograph the next second after that. So have a vision of what you could be. That's the starting point to shaping your future. And the second key to shaping your future is passion. Passion is the driving force behind every significant human achievement. As a matter of fact, every successful life is built under passion. Otherwise, if you lack passion, you are building your life on a shaky foundation, which might as well need restructuring later on. I always say this again to people, like people in life, most people support people who have passion. And no matter where you are, understand this. If you lack support or if you are not clear where you are going to get provision to become the person you have envisioned to be, understand that no one is coming to give you donation or no one is coming to help you except for one thing. You have proved your capacity. Except for one thing, men and women have seen your passion. In 1963, 28th August 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. gave his famous I Have a Dream speech, and it is recorded that 1,000 people gathered on Lincoln Memorial steps to hear Martin Luther King Jr. I Have a Dream. And when I listened and saw that more than 200,000 people gathered to hear Martin Luther King Jr. I Have a Dream speech, I questioned myself, because Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't telling people that he had a plan, which to most of us seems more appealing. We want to support people when they show to us their business plan, but here was a man telling other people that he had a dream, and yet more than 200,000 people gathered in one place to hear Martin Luther King Jr. I Have a Dream. And so for a person like me who want to speak to more than 200,000 people in my lifetime as a speaker, this was very interesting. To Martin Luther King Jr. I Have a Dream speech over and over again. I read almost everything that had to do with the Lincoln Memorial Steps talk that he gave on the 28th August 1963. And after listening to his speech over and over again, I realized that Martin Luther King Jr., he passionately communicated his passion. And when his passion was communicated, he gave hope and inspiration to many others. And it was those whom he gave hope to. It was those whom he inspired. Those were the people who supported Martin Luther King Jr. cause. So have passion. Understand that no one is coming to give you support except for one thing. You have proved your passion. And the passion comes together with enthusiasm. And enthusiasm is a very interesting word. It is originally taken from a Greek word called entheos, E-N-T-H-E-O-S, which means God within. And that simply means God is in the heart of every man and woman who is possessed by a dream or a vision. So be possessed with a dream and your vision. And that's a guarantee that you have God inside of you. That's a guarantee that there's a greater source, a higher power working within you to achieve to achieve your higher purpose, to achieve your calling, your dream, and your vision. So ladies and gentlemen, that's key number 2 on how you can begin shaping your future. Key number 3, understand that you yourself are the opportunity. You yourself are the opportunity. I have defined an opportunity as a match. An opportunity is a match. An opportunity is a connection between what you have to offer and what the world needs. So be constantly in motion. Once you have a clear vision of who you could be, once you have passion, make sure that you are constantly in motion and to fill the gap between what you have to offer and what the world needs. You are the opportunity. Most people live their lives thinking that opportunities are out of their reach without fully knowing that they themselves are the opportunity. After the Second World War, it is recorded that the only natural resource in Japan was the people of Japan. Japan had no any natural resource after the World War, but they have transformed Japan into an industrial and technological powerhouse as we know it today. How did they do that? How did Japan transform itself into an industrial and technological powerhouse as we know it today? Because we can't talk about Toyota today without talking about Japan. We can't talk about Panasonic without talking about Japan. We can't talk about Samsung without talking about Japan. We can't talk about Issey Miyake without talking about Japan. I could go on and on mentioning the products that are made in Japan, a country whose only natural resource after the Second World War was the people of Japan. So my question is, how did Japan do that? How did they transform themselves into an industrial and technological powerhouse as we know it today? Do you know the secret why they transformed themselves? It's because they understood that they themselves are the opportunity. So if you want to transform your life, if you want to become the greatest in your field, understand that you yourself are the opportunity. Don't wait for someone else out there to see your value. Don't wait for someone else out there to come and hand you an opportunity. The greatest mistake that we make is that most of us wait for an opportunity to give up itself like a slave to its master. An opportunity doesn't work like that. You have to be constantly in motion. If you wait for an opportunity to give up itself like a slave to its master, you are going to wait your whole life, and you are going to fail to transform your life and become the woman or man you have always envisioned it to be. So you are the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. No one is coming to help you. No one is coming to save you. Or no one is coming to transform your life without you taking the necessary action and understanding that you yourself are the opportunity. And the time again will fail me to talk about America. America as we know it today wasn't built by its governments. America as we know it today was built by its people. As a matter of fact, there is a series which is called Men Who Built America. And that's interesting, right? Because for a nation as big as America, for a nation as developed as America, it's easy to think that it was the governments who transformed America as we know it today. But no, America was people. It was men like John D. Rockefeller, the first world billionaire in the 21st century. It was men like Henry Ford. It was men like J.P. Morgan. It was men like Cornelius Vanderbilt. These are the men who took responsibility. These are the men who understood that they themselves are the opportunity. And they have transformed America as we know it today. They birthed the ideas. They took those uncommon and popular steps, and they were constantly in motion, filling the gap between what they have to offer and what the world needs. Today we are talking about Ford, a company that was established by Henry Ford. Today, I could go on and on mentioning companies that were built by these men. But the idea that I want to bring across to you is understanding that you yourself are the opportunity. You yourself holds the key to becoming the person you have envisioned it to be. No one is coming to hand you the opportunity, except you are constantly in motion and filling the gap between what you have to offer and what the world needs. And so that's key number 3 to shaping your future. Key number 4, find mentors. Seek for guidance, ladies and gentlemen. There are men out there, there are men and women out there who have already paved the path for you. Learn from them. Seeking guidance saves you from stress. Seeking guidance saves you time. Seeking guidance helps you to move quicker than you could have with your own knowledge, wisdom, and perspective. So seek guidance. Isaac Newton, one of the greatest scientists to walk on this face of the earth, once said, "If I have seen further than others, it's by standing on the shoulders of those who have gone before me." If I have seen further than others, it's by standing on the shoulders of those who have gone before me. It didn't literally mean standing on the shoulders of those who went before him. What he meant was that he sought guidance, he sought wisdom, and he sought the perspective of those who have already achieved what he wanted to achieve. That's how you shape your future, ladies and gentlemen. Seek guidance. Go after knowledge. Seek knowledge from those who have already gone before you. It saves you time. It saves you from stress. Read their work. What did they do to achieve the results that they got? What did they do? What are the necessary steps that they took to achieve the results that they achieved? That's how you begin shaping your future. So the way to do that is by studying them, reading their works. There are lots of books out there. If you want to be a speaker like me, read their works. Read the works of people like Les Brown. Read the works of people like Eric Thomas, Jim Rohn. Read from them. No matter where you find yourself in that field of your desire, seek guidance. Seek guidance. Never take a step without seeking guidance. It's going to save you from stress, and it's also going to save you time. And that's key number 4 in order to begin shaping the future that you have envisioned. So that key number 5 is by defying self-pity. Ladies and gentlemen, it's easy to give up on yourself when you encounter setbacks, hardships, and challenges. As a matter of fact, when you have a vision, life is going to test you. Life is going to test you. You are going to encounter setbacks. You are going to encounter hardships. You are going to encounter challenges. You are going to feel the dejection of rejection. But I'm here to tell you that in the midst of setbacks, hardships, and challenges, don't give up on yourself. Let rejection breed determination. I've come to realize that one of the greatest tragedy in this life is not when others reject you. One of the greatest tragedy in this life is when you reject yourself. And so even when no one wants you, even when no one believes in you, you must want yourself enough and believe in yourself enough and insist that there is a destiny for you to fulfill on this face of the earth. Don't give up on yourself. When people reject you, it doesn't necessarily mean that there is something wrong with you. When people reject you, it only means that the person that you are dealing with, they lack the ability to see the value that is in you. And you are going to get rejected most of the times than you get accepted. But keep going, be constantly in motion, and don't wait until you are motivated to begin taking action. Motivation itself is birthed out of action. So if you wait until you are motivated, then you have already lost. As a matter of fact, if you feel that you are ready, then you are late. Never forget that. If you feel that you are ready, then you are late. I have a friend of mine who works at the barracks, and he's a soldier. And I asked him, man, when you go for training, what is the first thing that they teach you? And he said to me, there are 2 things that they teach us when we are at training, when we are at the boot camp. The first thing is how to react when your gun is jammed. And the second thing is how to carry a dead body, because they understand that the things that normally kill you are the things that you did not prepare for. And no one goes to war, or no one faces life or walks in this journey of life expecting for challenges. There are only a few of them who have made setbacks, hardships, and challenges as their ally, as their companion. Those who understood that challenges push them to do the extraordinary. But most people, they easily panic when they encounter setbacks, hardships, and challenges. So train yourself on how you can deal with the setbacks, hardships, and challenges. And the only way to do that is by constantly educating yourself. It was Alice Robinson, one of the American journalists, who once said, things may happen around you, and things may happen inside of you, but the most important things are the things that happens inside of you, and you must take a stand inside of yourself and deal with them. So the most things that brings us down, the most things that causes us to panic are the things that are the conversations that happens inside of us. The only things that causes us to become stagnant most of the times are the conversations that we have with ourselves inside of us. So control your inner dialogue. Speak positively about yourself. Speak things that uplift you and change and causes you to move forward. I've shared this story before. A friend of mine was fired. They fired him at his workplace. And he gave me a call and he said, look, man, I just got fired. I was like, where are you? He said, I'm on my way home. But I could tell on the phone that he was very frustrated. His voice was down. I could tell that he was beaten. He was beaten. He was depressed. He just didn't know what to do. So as a friend, I thought, okay, I should go and see him when I'm done with what I'm doing. So I did that. I got at his workplace, and I found him listening to Craig David's song, if I'm not mistaken. And the song goes, I am walking away from troubles in my life. I'm walking away. I can't sing better. I'm not a good singer, but this was the song that I was listening to. I am walking away from troubles in my life. And this is what I want to communicate to you. Just as I communicated to him, I told him, like, man, turn off the music. You don't walk away to troubles in your life. As long as you are alive, your breath is a proof of something higher you have to conquer. The challenges that you are going through, the difficulties and setbacks that you are going through, understand that they are just walls and they don't have a foundation. If you keep going, if you keep moving, if you keep taking action, those walls, eventually, they are going to come down. So it's important that you educate yourself. It's important that you continuously study, listen to positive talks, surround yourself with positive people, people who are going to feed you with positive knowledge, people who are going to speak to you positively and speak to you and propel you to move forward. Those are the people you need to surround yourself with. Those are the people who are going to help you to defy self-pity. Because self-pity, ladies and gentlemen, is wickedness against yourself. What self-pity endeavors to do is to convince your mind that you have done everything that needs to be done and much more. And when self-pity enters you, self-discipline exits. And when self-discipline exits, it closes the door to self-development. And when the door to self-development has been closed, the end result is stagnation. And stagnation, ladies and gentlemen, is another form of self-oppression. So don't give in to self-pity. It's going to be hard, ladies and gentlemen. Life is going to test you, but understand that challenges are only there temporary. Nelson Mandela's dream took him to prison for 27 years. Imagine if Nelson Mandela felt sorry for himself. His name wouldn't be imprinted in those glorious credits called history. So it's all up to you to shape the future that you have envisioned. And you understand that self-pity is just wickedness against self. Self-pity doesn't change the past. And self-pity doesn't help you to shape the future that you have envisioned. And I'm going to close with this story. In the east of Asia, there was a man called the Oracle. And they called this man the Oracle because he had answers almost to everything. And one day, two young men decided to test his level of wisdom. And they caught a bird and hid the bird behind their back. And they went to the Oracle and said, "Mr. Oracle, we have a bird behind us. Please tell us whether this bird is dead or alive." Do you know what the Oracle said? The Oracle said, "Whether the bird is dead or alive, it's up to you." And I want to close by saying this to you. It's up to you to develop a vision of what you could be and commit to it. It's up to you to have passion. It's up to you to understand that you yourself are the opportunity. It's up to you to seek guidance. It's up to you to stand on the shoulders of those who have gone before you and learn from them. It's up to you to defy self-pity. Ladies and gentlemen, after this talk, it's now all up to you. With that, I come to the end of this talk. Again, if you have been inspired by this message, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Sometime, someplace. Stay blessed.